Hello and welcome to Budget Model Railways. Just panned a little bit there because we've got a loco running around the bottom. So I do like to have a few locos running. So a bit more progress. Now I'm sorry if all the videos at the moment are about my shed layout, but that's what I'm working on. Although I will give you a little hint at the end of the video to something I'm doing now for an exhibition. But I thought I'd show you the bit of progress since last time. So I've added the grass now to the top of the hill. And I was in the loft looking for buildings and found the windmill. Now the windmill is actually quite important. We had a windmill on our very first layout we ever built, Green Hill Hall. And we also had a windmill, the remains of this one, that worked on Roselands Hill, which was the big exhibition layout we did on corrugated cardboard. So I quite like having windmills on my layout, and as soon as I saw it, I knew where it would go. I knew it could sit in there. I also like windmills because I grew up, my grandparents lived in Winchelsea, which some of you might know, had a really prominent windmill right up until 1987 when the hurricane brought it down. So I've got a bit of an affinity with windmills, so there you go. And we'll have the little hut there. It's difficult to show on here, but I've also managed to do some wheel ruts. In the little entrance track. No, it's not going to show. Simply by putting some strips of card down. So I'm quite pleased with that. And the army depot, the army stores, has come along really well. So I got the two stores buildings there that you can see from Any Scale Models. Wonderful company. Look at their website. They do lots of really interesting buildings. I'm just going to stop the train a moment so I can film these. They come as a resin building like this one. You do need to just sort of stick a few bits together and paint them. But as you can see, they come up really well. And now I'm really pleased with those, that they're exactly the right look for the sort of stores buildings that you see on army bases. And obviously I've seen a few. The brickwork was simply done by dry brushing, a technique I haven't tried before. So I basically paint the walls the beige of the mortar and then dry brush the brickwork in over the top. And that's worked, in my view, really well. In hindsight, I should have made the mortar a darker colour to give them a slightly less sort of bright look. A brown or something might have been better. But I'm very pleased with them. And the roofs have just been black washed. So there we go. I've got my two stores buildings. We've got now the camera's going to go a bit funny here, but there we go. I've got the guard room, which is the little station building. Any Scale Models made that on my suggestion. So they made a nice little hut, and I suggested that if they put a window and a board and a chimney, it would make a nice little station building. And it does, but I'm going to use it as a guard room. And then the scout hut that Any Scale Models make is going to make a great little barracks block over the back there. So I've built what will become a raised loading area. And I'm going to have it as an end loading dock as well, so that I can also run vehicles on there if I want. So that's coming along quite nicely. We've got a little crossing keeper's hut there for what will have to be a level crossing here. And you can also see that I've laid the road. And that's just Metcalf tarmac sheet. And then at the other end, we'll have, I put in the raised road to come from the old road up to the level crossing. And I think I'll use that resin chapel that I got from the late John Winterbourne's estate over the back there on another little hill. And we'll have a tree to hide the join between the two back scenes. So there's quite a bit coming on there. Now the other change, and those of you that don't like me working in a mess will just have to look away, is I've taken the end of the back scene down, having put it up, because I'm toying now with putting a lower curved back scene to allow me to use some more of this curve as layout. And then the points that are in the fiddle yard below will have to go on wire and tube. So as you can see, I'm always thinking the layout's always sort of in a constant state of evolution, really. That's the excellent Hornby Bagnall going round. So I'm just using the 040s to test the track, basically. There we go. So I'm quite pleased with the way that hill's going to look. Something a little bit different with the army stores on there. It's going to have a fence round it. I've got some tulle, which is a black meshy fabric used in dressmaking. My wife put me onto that. That cost me £2 for a sheet that's half a metre by a metre. To get a metre of fencing from a commercial railway kit was going to be £17. And I've got enough to make effectively about something like 5 or 6 metres. And Dwayne from Dibbs Shunting Yard very kindly sent me a 3D design file for some fence posts. Big shout out to him and Em. And Doug's printed them off, and when I go up and see him next week at uni, I'm going to bring them back. So that will have a black security fence all the way around it. Another little loco, another shot of the loco. And then if I walk over here, got this out the loft. So this is the N-gauge oval layout that I made all years ago as an experiment in scenery. So it's got lots of different areas. It's got a river running through the back there, houses, and a little circle of track. And it's in N-gauge. And that's going to be exhibited now in May. So when we go to Sompting, I'm going to use my N-gauge shunting layout. I've never done N-gauge at an exhibition. I've never done a shunting layout, so it'll be good to have a try. And then I'll have this there. Needs a little bit of tidying up, but that's going to have the Cato pocket line steam train and coaches running round. So I'll have a whole sort of Cato pocket line feel. But it'll be nice to exhibit that layout. It was just made as an experiment, really, to see for scenery. I do need to just touch up the grass a bit. It's gone a bit brown. But it will make a really interesting exhibition layout. So any of you that are coming to Sompting on May the 13th, it's going to be a big news show for them. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, the camera's gone all strange. Don't know what's happened there. I'm on this gimbal mount, so apologies for that. So yeah, May 13th, worth looking out for if you can get down there. It's going to be a great show. We'll be there with the 2 N-gauge layouts, and Doug's going to take a 3D printer, one of the new ones that he's had kindly donated by Creality, and he's going to do another review video. Some of you I know have watched the last one that he did. So there we are. Quite a lot going on. The hill's coming along nicely. I'm finding I can get about half an hour a day or an hour every couple of days down here. And it's enabling me to get on with the layout quite quickly. So I'm just going to waffle for a bit, and just so that I can come down here and film the Bagnall coming over the bridge. I did finally get sky scenery behind the bridge. So it's not, and I've got to add to that. There we go. So as always, thank you for watching. Look forward to your comments, and we'll see you again soon. Oh, it's gone all wobbly.